With MakingStarWars.net.
Hi. I was just wondering if maybe you might want a Star Wars with me sometime. I'm Jason. We're MakingStars.net. This is my sketchy friend Rob. How's it going, Rob?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Pretty good. So, I was kind of on the fence about it. I was going back and forth if we wanted to fill in our Star Wars Santa thing today or not. But maybe on the back end of the show, I'm not sure if we want to save it for later in the week. But we do have that. We do have that work to get to. And
I wish we could have Star Wars Santa on just to tell us, you know what I mean, like right or wrong, because I can never remember. It's not like I could pull it back up and it's got a scorecard. You got this, like Santa thumbs up, Santa thumbs like Cole or presents.
Yeah, Cole or presents.
Cole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways,
Man, the carbon footprint of all the carbon footprint of all the naughty kids in the world is just fucking us all up. Like everyone wonders how global warming is getting worse. It's the naughty kids keep getting all this coal. They're just getting more naughty, Jason. It's not good. All right, continue.
Yeah. So no, one of the things that I wanted to talk about, because I was thinking about it last night, and I'm like, we've had 3 episodes of Book of Boba Fett now. I know for a fact, Jack, that the Naboo starfighter is going to be in the show. It's going to be an important element in the show, and it's coming.
I love this ship, by the way. It's my favorite of the prequel designs.
I hate that kid back there getting that toy, though. Who does he think he is? Look at his mom. I work hard for my money, and you better treat me right.
Jason, that's Mike Zero.
Oh shit! That was little Mike Zero. He's like, yeah, Mama, I want to see a Star Wars. She's like, we're not taking you to see one. I guess I'll just have to make it all up in my head. And then
got real good at it. Let's be honest. Got real fucking good at it.
No joke. The Naboo N1 starfighter is probably, outside of the X-Wing fighter, which is just, he doesn't get better than that. It's probably my favorite ship. It's probably my favorite high design item. It's probably Doug Chang's. It's his Mona Lisa of Star Wars, if you ask me.
That's for certain.
Yeah, it's the one. It's the one where it's like Ralph McQuarrie. Remember him? What up, Doug Chang? And you're like, yeah, fuck yeah, Doug Chang, dude. Episode 1's gonna rock. 1998 or whatever. Yeah.
It's the only ship they've created that invokes the Obi-Wan line of a more civilized age.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like the idea of using Art Nouveau, although pretty, right? Alphonse Mucha, Art Nouveau is pretty, but the idea of using that invokes a time right before World War One.
Mm-hmm.
Before the industrial machinations of just hell on earth, and so I think that was fantastic. The Padme all chrome Space Gordon ship, but the Naboo thing, if they had done more wood, I know it's wood in space, who cares? But if they did more wood and nouveau mixture designs into the Queen ship and stuff, if it had those swirly nouveau, even if it was all chrome but it was built into the chrome, right?
Yeah.
If it just invoked that more than Flash Gordon, I think all of them would be as iconic. But yeah, the long fishtail end is the one that always gets me, the stingray look. It serves, it's a great iconic design, but it serves, the purpose is just a design aesthetic that I think is fantastic.
Well, the idea was that they plug the ships into the ports around the hangar, which is then into the super reactor of Naboo, and everything is working on natural energy from the planet. That was the original concept. And so when you see them in the hangar, the tails plug into that was the idea. but it turns out somebody did the math wrong on a Phantom Menace when they were like building the set and the conversion, and the tails don't really fit. So like when you see them, they're all angled in a way that's like it's like an optical illusion. But I do remember, no joke, I was like, Star Wars movies are coming out. I have to get on the internet. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I'm not a rich kid. I don't have a 486 computer. You think I'm rich or something? And but I was like
150, huh?
Yeah, I was 16 and had my first job, and one of the first things I bought was a VCR and a TV because I was gonna want, I needed a special edition, right? In quality and letterbox, man. Needed letterbox. Like you had to pay extra for that back then. And then letterboxed. And thank you, Suncoast. You were my letterbox connect. And anyways, I got a web TV. And so first thing I do, I type in Star Wars. I'm like, cool. Red 5 Star Wars was like this one web page. I'm like, yeah, this is cool, man. He does all the news. But then I'm like, boobies. And then I went back to Star Wars. I went back to boobies. Back to Star Wars.
You weren't looking at ASCII porn.
Oh, it was.
People don't know. Like there was a generation of kids who all the porn had to be ASCII letters that would you had to like kind of pull back, like the mall. Posters that you have to pull back and go, oh yeah, I can see the porn. Squint your eyes.
I honestly don't think the web TV would have displayed it correctly. It was the whole interface was HTML based. It was crazy. It was a crazy time.
Yeah,
I used to
Dreamcast had a web TV app. I mean,
did it?
Remember if you got a Dreamcast? Yeah, you can get a web TV with a keyboard and the whole bit. I always said that was my favorite bit of kit because it was so fucking bad.
Yeah,
but you could read high res text on your low res CRT, which was super fun.
This light is giving me a headache today, so I am going to turn it down. Anyways, yeah. So, anyways, I get on my that's pretty intense.
I mean, but think about the wood thing. Like, I know people are they're focusing on me saying wood because they're all fucking
wood. You said wood.
Dorks. But I make fun of it and then I love it. So that's how it works. But if you'd gone on the inside of the ship and it had been like wood carvings with if it was inverted, so the outside was chrome with a few wood, but then you go inside, it's all wood with the chrome trim, like that inversion when you go in and out.
Yeah, you said trim.
I know, man. There's no fucking way you can talk to dorks. Like, this is what it's like to talk to me, isn't it? So,
you respect wood.
Johnny's trying to have a real conversation, and I keep going wood. So, whatever.
Hello, little baby Warwick Davis. Good. Love you, baby.
Also, I think the second best design prequel vehicle are the pod racers, like especially Anakin's. But Anakin and Sebulba's pod racer alone are genius. Yeah. Genius designs.
But where I was going with all of that was that the very next day, boom, StarWars.com puts up the image of the Naboo starfighter, and everybody's just like weird, and I'm like, that's so crazy looking. I did not see it coming, and yeah, and ever since then I've been really really into it.
So that was, I want to say it was early '98. It could be 97, whatever.
Yeah, it might have been like late 97. I feel like it was the summer of 97 when they were filming Phantom Menace.
Right. I feel like it was pretty close to the reveal of Final Fantasy VIII. So I sort of have the Final Fantasy VIII demo, and I was like, oh man, it's very Final Fantasy, which I was super into. I was like, I like it.
Yeah.
I had another friend, I don't like it. Star Wars. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's not Star Wars, and it was a running fight until we hit Attack of the Clones. I'm like, you're right, it's not Star Wars. I was wrong. You're right.
Yeah, it's like, it's such a cool design motif in the sense that it for the record, I don't think we're going to see it all tore apart. I don't think we're going to see it all tore apart in this coming episodes of
no
one's ever Boba Fett. I think they're going to keep it like fancy, But
I hope
that's, I mean, that's what I think. But that said, like the Y-wing, when they in Clone Wars when they put the coverings back on the Y-wing, I love that you could see it with and without. You know, it's pretty rad. I wouldn't even go as far as to say though that like whenever they probably won't, but like when they do a movie like Rogue One, it would be nice if every now and then they did put a couple of the coverings back on just one or just a couple of the coverings just to kind of have it like, yeah, that one still has it, you know. I would appreciate that.
I wasn't the biggest fan of the escape pod bit in the covering of the front of the Falcon, right?
Oh,
In
right. And
Solo,
Solo.
but I loved the clean interior. So the idea that clean environments aren't Star Wars, I don't agree with that. It just depends on the person and the setting, right?
It just doesn't stay
And the
clean.
contrast. Plus, you get a contrast of a super clean Falcon, and then fucking trucker guy sleeping with his clothes all over the place and his tools and his fuzzy dice. Like trucker guy is a messy kid, so I get it. But having a version of it where it does have the front covered, is fun to look at, and then you sort of move on.
Like and the reason why I'm bringing this up today and kind of like just leading as like a little topic for the show start is when I learned about the Naboo Starfighter, the reason that I ran that in the same article as the Vespas is that it like the idea in terms of like the general art design, and I'm probably going to tell this poorly, but the general idea is that it like you're going to have this integration of this stuff all coming to Tatooine. And so they're kind of like littering these colors in through those Vespas and that like high design kind of stuff. And it's just going to kind of evoke this idea that all of these other places from the galaxy come to Tatooine. And in this instance, we're going to have a bit of color. So the whole show isn't just simply drab, desert, tan, mauve. Is it mauve? Whatever colors. I have no idea. I'm not an interior decorator. I'm just a guy in a flannel. But yeah. But what do you think about that?
I think story-wise,
art guy, color and stuff.
I always think that if you're gonna tell that visual story, that look, there's gonna be this other thing that's coming to here, and things are changing on Mos Eisley. I think your antagonists, right, the Pikes should look all chromy. They should have that look too. I think your primary antagonist should look like the visual aesthetic that you're also in conflict with. That I think the story probably should go that way with the art design. So this way, if the people there can feel uncomfortable with it along with the audience, and then you realize it's a part of this world as much as anything else, So there's a way to do that you allow the people in the world to express it a little bit, and then you move on. When it's just there and you're like, oh, you just accept it, then you're gonna have this clash, and it goes away. We've all learned in Star Wars over time, people just go, oh, what about the ships, the speeders on Coruscant and Attack of the Clones? I'm like, yeah, but that at the time, that was a huge complaint, right? Now people are like, but that's Star Wars. So we know over time they'll get over it. The thing is, we would like to see story-wise a little bit like move beyond the George simplicity, just a little line to cover that would help. I think the bigger issue isn't the look of it. It's that the story, the sequence in which they're the speeder chase. I just wish these sequences, like in episode 2 where the speeder bike was super dynamic. I do wish that more of these sequences were concepted by like anime studios, right? Like animation studios where they would get, because if this whole episode had been an episode of Star Wars Visions, it would have been incredibly dynamic. Like you would have just seen shots that go beyond this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. You would have just seen something very dynamic in a way that like look at the Boba in the Jedi Rocks episode. Everyone's like Boba Fett's like Funko Fett, right? It's Funko sized, but he's super like the shots, right? The aggression, all those things are really really good. And when you get to the Ninth Jedi, those shots are staged out really really well. And even the Ronin fight, like what happens in the Ronin fight, things we've already seen before, but it's the way it's staged. and then it escalates up to him fighting on a tree, right? Going over the waterfall. It's the staging, the sequence driven, and the visuals. I just wish they would lean on that more, because sometimes in LA with storyboarding, you just get, like anywhere else, you get a singular mindset on how things are done. And then how they got done initially is probably a matter of like limitations of production. But then over time, they go, those are the rules. I've seen this happen many times. Those are the rules. That's how it's done. Until Arcane, Mitchell versus the Machines, or something that breaks all the rules, like Spider-Verse comes out and goes, that's not how it's done. It's how it's been done.
Yeah.
And so I just think like that's the bigger issue. Like let's get sequences that give off energy, but that beyond showing what we could do, hey, here's what we could do in a budget. As long as it has energy, people will be like, wow, and it just doesn't have the energy that I think people were hoping for. And so it had the energy, people would have been like, those Vespas look weird, but they're cool. And it's this other thing that's creating this problem,
Yeah, the truth is that there's like almost like I feel like there's two logics working against the scene. And one is that when the Twi'lek mayor's assistant dude gets in the speeder and goes on his chase, that guy's a huge fucking coward. He's not a hero. He wasn't going to do anything cool. He wasn't going to do a Han Solo move where he turns the speeder on its side or anything like that. And so they treated it like grandma driving to a church. But why would you have grandma driving to church be the Vespa's first, you know what I mean, gang attack, if you will? And I think that was an actual misstep in
I wish the mayor was driving and he was on the side shooting at them. There's no blaster fire too. There's no there's no real conflict. It's like, oh, they're going through the streets. Like
if they had been kind of laughing about how bad he was, if they had been antagonizing him like the fucking Lost Boys, like ready to go hang on under a bridge or some shit afterwards, I'd be like, yeah. But instead they're just like very intently like using their robot jack off moves to punch the car and shit.
Also,
it's like, okay.
I know Star Wars, this seems to be a direction that Lucas and them have moved in fine, but I do wish the male Twi'leks were more Bib Fortuna and less human.
That's what I would say. Yeah.
Yeah. And
I mean, if you want to give a hot one for the girls and boys that want the hot one, by all means, do that.
At the brothel,
I get it. Make them scary.
But normal Twi'lek dudes should look like Bib Fortuna.
Yeah, the guy who works for the mayor, he should look like a monster, and he looks like somebody's sleazy stepdad. Jedi Chris says, I would have zero issues with the Vespas if they had weathering. Way too clean for the sands of Tatooine. Pod racers were colorful but weathered. Well, I'm going to help you out.
They could have done.
Let me help them out real quick.
Okay, but I'm going to forget this, right?
Okay.
What they could have done was they could have had Vespas, but they were all fucked up. And then after they worked for Boba, they fixed the Vespas up, and then they're chromey. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just like in 2 episodes, you get the chrome ones, and then but not.
You just doubled our Vespa budget, buddy. I don't know. Disney has bills.
You know something? Maybe Frank Marshall doesn't get an extra house this Christmas.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, buddy.
I think you can make it work for yourself a little bit by saying they haven't been on Tatooine long. And I think they haven't, based off of their clothes, based off of their style and everything about them. I think they got there thinking that maybe they were going to get something that they didn't get. Maybe they thought there would be work, or maybe they heard there was work there, show up, don't find it. Now they're kind of stuck and just kind of hanging out, being punks, smoking cigarettes, right? But they also did just steal a ton of water. So maybe they washed them. Just going to say, maybe they washed their little Vespas, But I know what you mean by weathering now. I am with you. I know where you're going with it, and I don't necessarily disagree.
Again, had this been a port, like had this sequence taken place on, remember the pirate port that wasn't used in The Force Awakens, right?
Yeah.
If it looked like a Tuscany Italian Naboo port, these speeder bikes would fit right. It's just the environment. So it would have been great if they were like, yeah, we're from Naboo, but we came here to be we heard there were great bands on Tatooine. And we came to be a band and we couldn't make it. You know, we got shut out by Max Rebo. He snout blocked us. Sorry. Max Rebo's been snout blocking all the fucking bikes, you know? And we actually got cybernetically enhanced because we like to play music, right? My name's Cassio, right? Like Cassie.
I'm Cassio N. I'm Cassio N. And Dorian mode.
This really comes back to just the writing. Like the writing is a lot of things that you're like, okay, and then not enough of the things for what we're seeing. And at the end of the series, it could all pan out, but I'm telling you, man, I'm putting this at the foot of Favreau. This is what Favreau wrote. This is what it's what he credited. I got to go with the credits. I can't control what really happened, right? That's the credit.
Maybe Favreau wrote something and it was edited out. I don't know. But yeah, but all we could judge is
I've been on projects. I've been on projects where I get credit for things I did more of or less of because that's the way it works. And if people didn't like it, that's it. Like, sorry, man. You know, like that's the way it works. They can't all be Lion King, Favreau. That fucking movie made like $2 billion. By the way, the Lion King remake, it's crazy.
Really?
Yeah, it made way more money than you think.
Give me $2 billion to watch it. So fucking boring.
I know, but it did. It's crazy.
Jason says, I remember Ozzy Osbourne watching episode 1 and saying, "Why does everything look new and shiny?"
I know. It just existed too close. I just feel the High Republic is where Space Nouveau should have leaned in. To be fair, asking Marvel Comics artists to draw Art Nouveau it's super complicated. It's a super hard thing it requires a lot of effort. There's tons of swoops and lines, and they're not the kind of shapes that you can crank out in a 12-hour period over and over again.
You're like, hey, I wanted to draw She-Hulk's boobs. That's why I got into this, and you're making me draw Art Nouveau spaceships. What is this?
Over and over it.
Over and over. Yeah.
So I know, over and over. But I do think that the High Republic should have looked like Space Nouveau, you know, more than 20 years. What's Phantom Menace 40 years or 20 years? 40 years?
Wait, what?
Is the Phantom Menace 40 years before A New Hope? Or 20? It's 40.
20. It's 20. Oh, sorry, it's 30.
No, it's 40.
It's 30. It's about 30 years. There's 10 years between Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones because Anakin needs to get pubes. So Anakin gets pubes in Attack of the Clones. Now she's like 20.
Or if Naboo had been the only holdout from the High Republic era. You know what I mean? Like the whole rest of this galaxy had been industrialized by the Trade Federation, and this was the one holdout that was still holding on to the cool old shit, you know? Like, nah, man, we're never giving up. We're gonna be, you know, Space Sweden. And then the Trade Federation like, no, man, you're gonna corporatize or die, you know? Which is essentially what's happening. I just wish it was painted in that exact verbiage, you know.
I just wish it was Nemodians. So I was like, I love you guys, you waggy bastards.
I love them CGI looking Nemodians. The ones from the concept art where they look like really thin grays and shit. Like,
battle droid, the humanoid battle droid versions, if you will.
Yeah, with all decked out in gold, Anunnaki gold. Like, love it.
Yeah, maybe they'll resurrect that someday, you know, in some way.
When it comes to the prequels, I really do worship at the altar of the art designer of those films.
I was going to suggest that at the Pike, the main Pike that he goes to talk to at the end, his outfit does look kind of similar to the humanoid Nemodians from the concept art, and I was sort of curious if that's where they were going with it. But Fandom Empire says, "What's going on, fellas? Happy weekend, y'all! Just went back and rewatched the 3 episodes of Fett. I got to be honest, guys, while I enjoy elements of the show, it just feels like there are corners. Being cut. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to find it. Being cut, and the visual effects really aren't that good. To be honest, the runtime on a lot of Mando episodes leaves a lot to be desired. One of the things they sold us on about doing Star Wars on TV was long form storytelling, but it's kind of hard to do that when you only get 7 to 8 30-minute episodes. feels very rushed storytelling across Disney Plus so far. That said, I'll watch. What? Wait for it. We get.
You're saying all the Disney Plus shows are rushed story? I don't agree with that at all. Like,
sometimes,
as for the visual effects,
sometimes I mean the Star Wars stuff does oftentimes feel very rushed. But it's weird because like when Star Wars doesn't feel rushed, then it feels like a slog. That's where Star Wars comes into a weird place in terms of keeping it to form with the films. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like I kind of feel like it goes into a really heavy-handed place, and it's truly not deep enough most of the time to really like be a slow build. Like Johnny was saying he wants like A24 Star Wars. And I was like, dude, I would kind of dig that, but I kind of don't think it would work. I kind of think it would feel like a fan film.
Are you talking about from the writing or from the visual effects?
Well, depends on how you. I'm talking about the writing and editing and pacing and the time that you get. Like for instance, like in an A24 film, you're going to see some asshole like washing dishes, right? But you're going to learn a lot during it. Not like that Hobbit movie where they just washed dishes and you were like, they were just literally just washing dishes. But like you know, like in like Lamb or something, you're gonna see like those really quiet moments. You could like Rey kind of has those moments. Like kind of see extrapolating that in a Star Wars story. At the same time, I think it would just get boring.
Well, my opinion on that?
Yeah.
That's what an anthology show is for, to test out those visuals. So if we did a Tales from the Jedi live action series where you're like, hey, one of these episodes going to be from the Green Knight dude, but it's going to be about a Jedi, and it's just going to be about learning how the Jedi, you know, drinks blue milk in the morning or fixes his lightsaber or something, or goes out in the forest and does some training and it's super A24-y. That's a place where you can experiment. Is Jason saying I'm talking too fast? I don't like. What should I follow the bouncing rhythm ball for the show? I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, but
it's funny. He's like, I'm talking faster than the micro machines, dude. Like, I don't know. Like, all right, I'll go slower. For the Boba Fett, I'll go Boba Fett speed.
Hey, no, A24 speed, please. A24, please.
Well, now I need some mushrooms. I need to take some mushrooms and see weird shit like Gungans, and
that'd be fun. The Making Star Wars show on mushrooms.
I would say about the visual effects, I'm watching this. So, you know, like the TV I watch this on is my Sony Bravia 950. It's 4K, super brilliant TV. It came out last year. 120 hertz.
Yeah.
You know, I'm watching this and I'm up close. It's a big screen, 65 inches. So it's, show looks great. There are shots that look like they're in front of a green screen because the lighting is a high noon, right? And they're in front of a green screen or blue screen or whatever. So, that's that. The only way to not do that, I found on those type of lighting at that time of day, is if they had dragged everyone out to the dune to Death Valley and shot it. And even then, half the time you'd think it might be fake. You ever take photos out in the desert and sometimes they don't look real, like they look fakeish. And so there in art, we have found that there are times, especially when you're going for photorealism, that you have to go for how people remember things, not for how they actually look. Because sometimes how they actually looks way faker than how you remember them. This is why rotoscoping, tracing over people for animation looks weird. Like, you ever seen like the movie Fire and Ice and American Pop? That animation looks weird to folks. I mean, it should look 100% natural and human, but it doesn't. We have like an aesthetic in our mind of how things look. So it's uniquely human, by the way.
Yeah.
It serves no biological interest, right? Like, you would think memorizing the exact movements of an animal would protect us, you know? But when we see the exact movements on screen, we're like, nah, I don't like it. These look like the cave paintings. Like, it's not how I remember it. It's so weird.
Yeah.
So weird.
Shogun asked, didn't they use the volume? So how it works is they have the volume, which is in Manhattan Beach, and at Manhattan Beach, there's a studio set up with the volume inside, and they film there. But what they also have is a little satellite place down just over off Rosecrans, in El Segundo. That's and where I used to go to the parking structure, the Apollo parking structure, and just look at it. And right there is a big lot about the size of a little league baseball field, and there is where that's where they do all of the exterior work. And so certain things can't be done in the volume, and that's where they'll do it. Or let's say if they needed to actually do like an explosive blast with pyrotechnics, you can't do that inside in a volume. So that stuff will all be done out at
the debris would
location.
hit the screens.
And so the vast majority like of the Tusken Raider stuff that you see where they're outside in the daytime, that's out in El Segundo, and there's just giant blue screens set up along a perimeter of the fence. They just film like normal and then add the horizon into the shots. And they have a little dump truck, and they dump some sand, make some sand piles, and walking on Tatooine now, and it gets the job done. Is it as good as going out to Tunisia? Not at all. But is it going to get us the show as opposed to not? That's the trade-off. So, truly, if they weren't doing that, everything would be set in that wilderness planet where we got the Jedi cell phone to call Luke. Everything would just be set there otherwise.
And if the story was captivating us, we would be talking about what happens versus staring at everything on screen. And so right now, just the story isn't captivating people. People could say, "Oh, it's fine. Look, it's Western." Keep yelling at me how it's a Western, and like I'll show you a million fucking Westerns that suck. So
because people under 40 love Westerns.
Yeah, man. Can't wait. Yeah. So I see this.
Hi, I'm Jason Ward from Mucinex, and I love Westerns. Go on.
Yeah, this feels like an American ABC TV show Western from the 70s, not the spaghetti Westerns that they keep invoking. Really, again, if this show had been about a tinkerer, a guy who's out there building shit and taking over and blowing people up and wrecking shop and carving out his own little section, we'd be talking about that all day. But it's not. It's a show that you got to wonder. You're always wondering, what is he thinking? What is Boba Fett? Does he not have a crew? Does he not have? I don't think he has a plan. Like it's like knowing the Cylons don't have a plan 2 episodes in, and then you're like, now you're looking for the plan. You're like, I know they don't have one because I'm not seeing one, and that's the thing. I just don't know how to get around. You can't defend it. So the question is, will they overcome that and move into it so we can get past this, or won't they? We will find out.
James is like, who is your daddy and what does he do? To a Lucasfilm.
Yeah, the editing has been something we've all talked about. It's been really, really weird, and I don't know if that's the editors or the director with the editor. I don't understand. I mean, the fact that Robert Rodriguez's episodes are 37, 38 minutes consistent, and the other one's an hour. Yeah, is that a director decision? Is that just, hey man, I'm making this lean, I'm gonna go in there and like I wonder, I just don't know how that. I wish they would explain. I wish they had a show where they could put them on and say, hey, here's why we did this and that. No. Not in a defensive manner, but like in a PR hypey manner,
I had a professor who went to Coachella and won a Vespa. That was cool. Star Wars Satan, Hell Satan says, just say no to Vespas. That's
also
fair.
The Vespa. Here's the thing with the design of the Vespa is that they have that Trade Federation tank where they're flat on the bottom, right? Mm-hmm. And so when something flat's moving, it doesn't feel dynamic. Had they been a Vespa top with a little mini like pod racer pocket rocket engine, right? Like a little tiny one that looked
pocket rocket.
But it didn't look all mechanical. It could look retro futurist. But if it had like the little rocket with the little turbine, it would, and maybe like little blades on the end or on the sides, right? To get a little stabilizing little wings. This sort of it would feel more Star Wars and more like you could lean in like a bike. It has this flat bottom. I get Vespas have a flat bottom with the wheel, but it's not a. This is why you don't see.
Isn't it
Vespas in
flat
cinema,
bottom girls that make the rock and roll go round?
That's exactly it. When you see Vespas in cinema, it's played for a goof because they look funny. So there's no way, unless you take the Vespa top and you put something on the bottom to make it look a little bit more Akira coolish. I'm just dropping things that, not saying make it look like Akira. I'm just make it look more aesthetically cool. Unless you do that, then you're gonna get some goofy comments. There's no way around that. It's like if I love Mini Coopers, but you put a Mini Cooper, it's like in the Bourne Identity when he's driving the Mini Cooper and everyone's chasing him. There's a humorous aspect to that first chase in the first Bourne Identity. What works is they play the reality of gravity and having to take that fucking thing down a giant flight of stairs and running it into the ground. Like, they play the reality. You feel like you're there in the car in a Mini Cooper, and then it feels dangerous. I don't feel like I'm on the bike with one of those the gang members, and it feels dangerous to ride these things in a way, right? So that's
I look at like the idea of bringing the Naboo starfighter in and using the Vespas as sort of like a design cousin almost, and to like sort of like introduce the Art Nouveau aesthetic into Tatooine and then ease us into there and it to make sense. Well, I like that, but I completely feel betrayed in terms of the idea that you had the bikers in the previous episode on the big hogs, because by doing so you make them look way less. It's like the proximity of the ideas is a horrible one.
And we're assuming gangs like that, if not that gangs like that still exist. So how is Luca going to take out the polecats? I mean, if you want to make a Disney on Lucasfilm, versus aesthetic, it just doesn't feel like it could happen. I do think, though, had they explicitly said we were from Naboo, and now Naboo is all about like cybernetically enhancing themselves, how crazy would that have been if where Padme was from? Yeah. I know, but that's what I'm saying. We've never really found out about the fate of Naboo. Like,
they added the end of Return of the Jedi moments in there. They're very minor. I still think there's a lot of leeway, but I think that informs the concept that Naboo didn't really change. Maybe it did.
But that's what a TV show's. That's what writing new lore says.
Maybe everything else changed and the capital thing didn't. You know what I mean? So they may be able to like do it still.
But what if the teen, right, the kids of Naboo, this is like start cybernetically enhancing themselves? Like, we're gonna change, but then that's a reflection of Padme's husband who became cybernetic. You see what I mean? Like, the fact that Anakin did that and it became bad, and the kids on Naboo are rebelling and doing that too. Maybe that would have been a way to tie in.
Who's the most famous guy from Naboo of all time? R2D2. It's all there. Oh. It's all R2D2. It's all there. He was born.
I never saw R2 as being a guy though. I saw R2 as being a little.
Oh, R2's Kenny Baker, dude. He doesn't pull out, man. He's sticking that thing and stuff. He's the biggest. There. He's the most dude of dudes. He's like literally.
You got me there.
Yeah,
he's sticking his little dongle.
He's sticking it in the Falcon. He's sticking it in Cloud City. He doesn't give a shit.
Let's be honest. R2 sticks it in more robots than Lando.
R2 and Lando probably have some adventures that need to be written in the future.
It'd be funny if him and R2 were like, look at this one. Look at that one. Woo-hoo.
I'm just saying. L3 has a lot of ports. A lot of ports on that L3 droid.
They were checking out robots.
This is the most appropriate greeting we've ever got on this show. Good morning, children's. All right, so a few seconds ago, I will take this question and we'll turn it into a little subtopic for a sec. Fandom Empire asks, do either of you have an all-time favorite Star Wars video game? And like for me, the truth is, in a lot of ways, I have a dislike for Star Wars video games in that they rarely hold up the aesthetic or tone of Star Wars for me. Like, I'm not a big Star Wars book guy for that very reason. It oftentimes I feel like drops it. So I'm not super crazy about the games. Not that I haven't loved the games, But the most candy ass answer I have is that the original Atari 1983 video game is honestly probably my favorite Star Wars video game. Like I would own that cabinet if I could. You know, the real one.
I have it behind me, the arcade 1-up one.
You do? Yeah. See, I'm gonna come
Yeah,
over and
it's
I'm
in
not
the- it's
gonna
in the
leave.
studio.
Yeah.
So I do think that first 83, game is that's if I had to. Okay, that's my favorite because I own the arcade cabinet, right? I have a lot of love. Yeah, Shadows is fine, but I only really like the speeder levels, and the swoop level was kind of fun, right?
Fighting IG-8
But,
was fun. The End Falcon thing was cool.
Yeah, it was all right. The Pod Racer game was a lot of fun with the 2 controllers, if you knew how to do that code.
Racer could be my
Graphically,
favorite.
not that great. Yeah,
Racer,
but Racer's the one you
Racer's
could
up
always
there.
put on. You
Yeah.
need to put on a better soundtrack because it's the same fucking music over and over again.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous. I think the one with the most potential that could still be getting made is the Super Star Wars verse. Like I think they could continue to make those Super Star Wars games with the 3D flying levels, actual 3D. They don't need the pixel ones. I think that is the one that allows you to do the most fun and have Star Wars aesthetic and take it beyond the shows. And I think that's the one they should keep making. As a fan, I gotta say, Vader Immortal being able to go to Star Wars in VR is quite amazing. When you're on the ship in the very first part of Vader Immortal and a Star Destroyer, docks above you and you're looking through the porthole at the fucking Star Destroyer. I'm like, it's so fucking good, man. I've always wanted to. I don't know why I wanted to see myself being boarded by space Nazis, but man, I've always wanted to see this.
my take on the Super Star Wars games is pretty much lines up with the general like bros take on the original trilogy. Like the first one's pretty cool. Empire's the best. Return of the Jedi shit. Like that's kind of that in a weird way. The Return of the Jedi one, I almost wish they would remake that and they would revise those and remake that one. That one was just so half-assed.
There would have been fun to see them put some of the Shadows of the Empire content into the preface, like not content, but some of that little preface, like Luke in the jacket. You know what I mean? Because that Luke with the jacket look would have been great. Something there, maybe the Boba Fett side mission where you're in the fucking Sarlacc and you got to blow your way out, like bonus round kind of shit.
Blow your way out. I don't. That's
I know.
Sorry, you put us in Beavis mode at the start, and now I can't get out. I'm stuck in the little Beavis hole. I said hole. See? Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus.
No, I do wish I'm with you. I think you and I both agree that like side-scrolling games were such a big part of our childhood. I mean, it's really kind of like almost like a lost video game genre. I'm not saying you can't get one every now and then. Every now and then a good one
Literally
does
have
come
one
out.
coming out this year, my friend. I helped work on a
one
side-scrolling game called Berserk Boy. Yeah,
Berserk Boy. Yeah. I love them. I'm a huge fan. I play Castle Crashes with my kids all the time. Like I do miss those being a more celebrated like force in gaming or whatever.
Fun.
And Star Wars needs to experiment with it.
Super Mandalorian. I've been saying it for a while. You can
Yeah.
easily translate those 2 seasons to one fun, kick-ass, super Star Wars style game with cool Razor Crest missions and all that stuff.
And if a fan does it, I'll load that ROM up and play it. I'm saying, do a good job, I'll play it. But yeah, I'm
not a big fan of the 3D side scrollers like Metroid Dread. I own it. I'm not. I like hand drawn. So what's crazy is Ubisoft, who's making this big open world Star Wars game, they have the Rayman engine. And if you've ever seen the tech, there's a GDC video on YouTube where they go over Rayman Origins. Their tech, their level editing allows them to just paint whatever levels they want, and it blends the artwork together seamlessly. Like, so the designers can really focus. And they have that tech, and to do a hand-drawn version, you know what I mean, of the Mando, like they could do all sorts of artwork for that. It doesn't have to look pixels. It could be hand-drawn, and that's the thing where I'm like, man, why don't we get this? Like,
give me just give me Mando Altered Beast. You like go Beskar.
Not a great game, no. Not a great
Altered.
game.
I loved
Good
Altered
marketing.
Beast.
I
loved
know
Al-
you love the memory of Altered Beast. It's not a great game.
I beat Altered Beast during the pandemic.
I know.
It's
It's
you
a fun
know,
packing game, but it's not great. Good
dude,
good aesthetic, good name,
dude,
boring game.
dude, how dare you smite Altered Beast?
Easily. Takes very little effort.
Oh, Forgotten
Surprise.
Worlds. We're gonna shoot on Forgotten Worlds now too. Remember that one? You're like flying
Yes,
like a
Forgotten
dude.
World. Yeah,
Like
you get
the
a little
little
fly,
thing.
yeah.
That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. So anyways, yeah, when it comes to the games, like I like them to get cinematic. By the end of Battlefront 2 was really, really good. And I have a feeling down the road I may even say Battlefront 2. But Battlefront 2 still like a bit so new that I'm sick of it now. Like I'm in that sick of it phase that I'm a little bit like, I don't know about Battlefront 2. But in a few years, I wouldn't surprise me if I'm like Battlefront 2's online modes were just so fun, But
I get motion sickness from first person shooters in 3D on consoles. In VR, no.
in VR, no,
The
but
Doom
that's
style
weird.
stuff, the
Yeah.
Doom style stuff where it's kind of a fake 3D, it's actually like a 2D
Simulated.
map that you kind of move around. I don't get it. But the 3D ones, I can't play for more than an hour without getting a headache or motion sickness. No 3D over the shoulder, no problem. And when I'm playing racing games, if I zoom in, I always play it right, no problems. It's something about the camera movement,
Yeah.
like the way it moves, it just fucks with my head. I don't know why.
Yesterday, me and Bestman Bulletin were on our mandate playing the Fortnite for a little bit impromptu, and he asked me, he's like, "What are the odds of us being able to get Rob to play Fortnite with us?" And I said, I don't think it's very good. I don't think the odds are good.
I like playing games alone. I don't like people.
That's what I told him. I said,
like a group
you.
of you cats. A group of you cats were streaming last night. And they're like, "Hey, come on!" And I'm like, "I'm working, man. Like I would love to, but like I'm as this is like the fact that I'm here hanging out with you all is like I'm way in my own world.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm anti-social. Not to be mean, but Game World specifically, I cannot imagine playing Final Fantasy Tactics and having to deal with other people. Like that would anger me to no end. Other people ruin my fucking time. Like I just don't. I don't know what it is about that. The last social game I played would have been City of Heroes. Like that's the last time I played a multiplayer game, City of Heroes.
But I can understand how that could leave a bad taste in your mouth.
I became an asshole. Yeah. I didn't like the person I became in City of Heroes. I got level 55 dudes, and I would. There's this thing where you could like make people your sidekick to help them level up, and I would take them to areas that they could never get out of, and I would leave them there. So when they respawn, they had to respawn at the local hospital, and they were stuck. Like I would just be an ass. I don't like the person I became.
Yeah.
What if I became like the Johnny Lawrence or the what's it? Diego? No. Sorry, Pedro Pascal. Like I became 15-year-old Pedro Pascal. I'm
no
biggest bully in Fortnite. So I just
yeah we were
my thing.
Yesterday he was Boba Fett and I was Frankenfett. I was Frankenstein with the rocket pack, the Boba Fett rocket pack, and we were going around and we're like pretty good, I think. But we got this person down, and then I looked at him. And I said, "Watch this!" And I took out this jar of fireflies and threw it on it and burned the person alive on the ground. And Bestman just kind of looked at me like, "You're fucking sick, dude." And I was like, "I'm used to playing with my kids who are like, like Lisa and Bart Simpson when I do that shit." It was just like, dude,
they just encourage dad to do all the wrong shitting.
Yeah,
because it's fun, right?
Yeah, 100%.
I'll tell you what would get me to play a multiplayer game if they had the VR toy RTS we keep talking about, where you could get your action figures, your little Star Wars character, and you could build the sandbox and play with them, and because you would need someone to fight, the AI would get boring after a while. That I would love to do.
I wish Star Wars Santa was here because I want to tell him that I was Captain Christmas. in City of Heroes. That was my guy. I was like an army man, but
It's such
like
a
Christmas
James
colors.
Gunn character. It's
Oh
such a
yeah,
James Gunn.
yeah. It was like
Yeah.
generic.
The
as hell.
the WWF in the 90s had a bad, like an evil Santa character for a short while. And like it went away, but it was so good. And
Yeah.
like they didn't lean into that. Like even Bret Hart was talking once. He's like, I think the Santa thing, they should have stuck with that. Like that's a great character. You can wheel out everyone, like you can have the evil presence and the elves and like it's just a perfect, it's low-hanging fruit wrestling character shtick, but it's perfect with the right evil Santa guy. Santa as a heel in wrestling is the best. Like you can have a hot
Oh.
Mrs. Claus sidekick come out,
Somebody in the
you could have Black Santa versus White Santa. You could do that whole thing. Like that would be great. Oh man, Father Christmas. That's what I call him.
Let me see if oh yeah, this is like pretty funny. CHVSE's all you can see through fake trailer leaks, but you can't see through fake government takes on pandemics. Bad take on Gina from you. No disrespect, love the content though, so thank you for that. But Gina doesn't have CTE.
You're her physician.
I was laughing at that. No, I don't think she does. Honestly, I don't think she. I think she's just dumb. But
I've said though, my point was you don't know what the ramifications of fighting in a ring have on you 10 years later. In America and in most Western cultures, we're really trapped in immediate results. And so like this is what I was trying to pair it with Gulf War syndrome. There wasn't an immediate result from Gulf War syndrome in a way that, say, you got radiation burns or something, right? Or you got napalm burns. So It was something that was appearing over a period of, at that time, 2 to 4 years. But we were like, oh, it doesn't really exist. So by the end of the 90s, it's becoming a real fucking problem for the VA. And they had to acknowledge it. And so when you see a bunch of...
What caused it? Do we know? What caused it?
It was I'm going to tell you, they tried to say it was a concoction of vaccines they gave people, or experimental vaccines. What I believe it really is depleted uranium fallout and burning of materials in the desert. And so
from the oil
they will
wells
never
and stuff,
admit that.
Or everything?
Well, because depleted tank rounds have a depleted, they're kinetic. They have a depleted uranium tip, the war-based ones that we use.
Yeah.
And those desert winds fly everywhere. And so you have these whole giant irradiated parts of Iraq and Saudi Arabia and Kuwait that you can't fucking go through to this day. With people die of cancer, they have deformed births or bad birth rates. They won't admit that because that flies in the face of we gotta sell the bombs, man. We gotta sell the bombs. So when you hear I'm like, was it Smilex? It's a concoction.
Are you saying that Lockheed Martin maybe aren't good? Are you suggesting that maybe
1,000%?
Maybe they're not honest
come at me.
and good?
Yeah. But this is, and I think the way to go about it is what happened at Area 51 with the contractors successfully suing over the burning of materials. Because what they would do in Iraq is they would just build a giant pit, throw everything into it, and set it on fire. Bro, like you can't just burn your own trash. I'll take all my fucking plastic jugs, throw them in my backyard, and light it on fire. That'll go well. Could you imagine if everyone was doing that? What would happen?
That sounds fun.
So, yeah.
Let's just burn shit, let's just make a big pile and
we don't to this day.
The Empire figures.
We still don't really know to this day what was in the Scud missiles that was being lobbed over. If there were any form of anthrax or biological, as shoddy and Doc Brown pinball machine type contraptions as those were, what was attached to them at that time?
Yeah,
they haven't admitted that.
I'm gonna suggest it was Scud. I'm kidding.
The Disposable Assassin, great comic.
Scud. I don't know.
Rob Trapp.
But yeah, let's look at before we bum everyone out and tomorrow. But that's reality. Let's look at a couple of things that are going on the internet. I wanted to hit this yesterday and I forgot. So we'll just hit it today and let me put it up on the screen for your peepers. Look at him. Look at his little peepers. Look at him looking at you. I'm Boba Fett. I'm a crime lord now. All right, tomorrow Morrison. Yeah.
he looks great. He looks great. But in a just world where we got a new police academy film, wouldn't he just be the great like one of those great like dick sergeants, you know? Like he just has the look, you know.
Tamara Morrison has the only face that could bring Boba Fett back to life, and apparently a Police Academy sequel, according to Rob.
I think so.
All right, it's by Nuno Betancourt from Extreme. Tamara Morrison vividly remembers the first time he tried on his Boba Fett suit. He sat in a meeting room with Star Wars VP producers Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, wearing a darker version of the armor he'd worn 2 decades earlier in the Star Wars prequels as bounty hunter Jango Fett, the man who provided...
I wore my Mark Echo hoodie, though. That's what I was wearing that day.
I wonder if I still have mine. I probably threw it away. The man who provided the genetic material to create Boba. I'm gonna start saying that to my sons. I provided the genetic material to create you. That's how I'm gonna address them. Anyways, and he instantly...
Thanks, blockchain dad.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I'm gonna be like, there's no chain code proving I owe you shit. Try. And he instantly felt stronger. He felt stronger. He started tearing the fucking trailer apart, and he instantly felt
I'm
stronger.
a Mando kid, 3 million strong and growing.
With the urge to stick his chest out a little. Come on, dude. That was
Billy
the Five
Badass.
Guys. I know. Trust me, I know. There was no denying the electricity of the moment. And Filoni, one of the chief architects in Star Wars' new era of pop culture relevance, gave a passing grade with his eyes. Oh, shit. This is sexy.
Yeah.
Eyes that Morrison described as twinkling. More like twinking, if I may say so myself. Filoni then said they'd made the right decision bringing Morrison back to Star Wars as one of the franchise's most popular characters. Oh, you think Filoni? It's great insight from Filoni and the Washington Post on that one. Oh, bringing Boba Fett was a great decision.
My second choice was Jason Momoa, but he wasn't available at the time. Now he is, so you never know.
But I saw that you was his poppy in that one movie I saw where you swim underwater. Right? He was Aquaman's dad, correct? If I remember right.
Yeah, but I called Taika Waititi's once, and he
that. Yeah. What's that little tyke with the titties? Taika Waititi?
Yeah. It sound really fun at the In and Out.
He's like, stop calling me Taika Waititi. I'm Robert Rodriguez. I'm making the show. I'm signed on. Why do you keep doing this? I'm ripped. I work out a lot. So, anyways, he says, I was so excited to attend the meeting. I actually got there 3 hours early, Morrison told the Washington Post. I just wanted to make the most out of the opportunity. That's a little bit weird. Just gonna throw that out there.
Look, he's excited. Plus, he wants the gig. I can't blame the guy. You know?
Yeah,
it's exciting.
Like,
how early would you get somewhere? You know what's great though is here's a guy who was already in Star Wars movies, you know, and he's still excited about being in Star Wars. So that's. I mean, we know the burnout. The burnout of doing this show for 6 months is real. Every day I'm like, why, God? Why am I doing this to myself? But you know, here Morrison is like, I can't wait to get paid. You know.
Well, what if he just like showed up like 15 minutes late with the scarf around his neck, said I'm here, took it off, throws it off, and then he's like, I'm a crime lord now, and they're like, and that's how it all happened. That's what I would have told him. All right. Morrison just wasn't hold on. Morrison just wasn't the right choice. He was the only choice. More specifically, the only face. The character debuted in the infamous 1998 Star Wars animated holiday special, of all things. I feel like they talk about this fucking thing so much everywhere now.
It's not even canon.
No, yeah, that's fine. But can they just put it
remember
on?
they met Luke Skywalker and hung out with Han Solo, and I am Boba Fett. Remember that?
But they
Not
should
real.
just put it on
Didn't happen.
Disney Plus, so that way everybody could stop talking. Like, be like, I don't want to talk about that anymore. I'm a little sick of hearing about it.
But the
like,
holiday special was on Disney Plus.
I got to be honest. The cartoon is the cartoon
The
moment from
cartoon
it
is, that's what it is. You're
because
right.
Lucas gave his permission to put it on one of the Blu-rays back in the day. There's this like moment where Boba wants to ride the Rancor. He's like talking about it, and he's like, I've written things 10 times that size, and everybody's like, oh, it's a holiday special reference. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, no, it's not. It's completely, he's talking about something totally cool, like a badass fucking dragon with like 10 dicks or something rad like that. You know what I mean? Like a 10 dick dragon. Yeah, that's what I imagined. And each of the dicks breathes fire, and he like totally fucking tortures a village. Like it's like the opposite of Finn. And that's the way I saw it.
I still think that they could put the holiday special on Disney Plus and just open it with in 76, 77, Lucasfilm allowed them to make a TV show, blah, blah, blah. And it just ends, mistakes were made.
Yeah.
Art Carney, you know.
Or it would be cool to make an in-depth documentary about it and release it at the same time, you know. But I could be wrong. I'm sure they could get it. But I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if one of the big holdups is like getting permission to use like Jefferson Starship music and just dealing with that shit. Probably just a bunch of stupid,
Jackson. Peter Jackson's working on it. He's using the Get Back technology. Right? He's getting it. He's putting it on there. He's going to get all the bands together. And we're not going to pay them anything. They're going to all do it for free because he's a really good studio guy. He'll get that done. And he'll have his feet right on the thing. He'll put it right on the big feet, no shoes. It's going to be really... I don't know what I'm doing.
Get out of here. Get out of here. The character debuted in the holiday special.
It's got 10 dicks.
He's then
Jackson has 10 dicks. It's true. It's absolutely true. But we're going to put him in 4K.
He wrote a Rancor with 10 Peter Jackson dicks. All right. He then appeared in 80s Empire Strikes Back, played by late actor Jeremy Bulloch as a bounty hunter. He died after Han Solo accidentally jammed the rocket that was on his pack in 1983 Return of the Jedi. We all know this. He then remained immensely popular with fans, had the audacity to look cooler than Darth Vader while standing next to him. I wouldn't go that far. Boba Fett lived on
that's
through...
a fair assessment to some people. I didn't agree with it, but I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah, I'll let people be wrong on that one.
But nothing looks cooler than Vader walking through Hoth base with his cape just kind of coming out, and he's all silhouette with the little light, you know, the little red light blinking. That shot alone is the one for me.
True. I think Darth Vader could probably pick up hot, big boobied goth girls though, and I don't think Boba Fett can do that. Just gonna say, I don't think he can.
No vapor when Vader's walking through Hoth base, right? No.
Boba Fett lived.
Think Lucas would have added.
Yeah, a little bit of vape smoke. It's fucking Darth Vader just blowing clouds. Boba Fett lived on through novels, comic books, and conventions. But death doesn't always stick in the Star Wars universe. Looking at you, Mace Windu.
No, but if you have 10 dicks, sometimes a lot of stuff sticks. You know, it's a bit of it comes with the territory, mate.
Especially for the most buzzed about characters. Just ask Darth Maul, another Star Wars prequel character. Filoni resurrected an animated Clone Wars series. Favreau and Filoni crafted another Back from the Dead revival for Boba Fett, explaining his survival in the first episode of the new series, The Book of Boba Fett, which debuted last month on Disney Plus because the character is a clone of his father, Jango Fett. I believe it's Jango Fett, as I believe the correct pronunciation. He died at the hands of Mace Windu, Samuel L. Jackson's lightsaber in Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. This meant a now grown-up Boba had to have the same face. What? Are you telling me clones can't get facelifts?
But Solo doesn't. Okay.
Solo doesn't, yeah.
Just like the consistency here is odd, but sure.
Yeah. Rare is the acting opportunity that allows an actor to portray both the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost. But if there's one thing the Star Wars universe has always excelled in, it's dramatic paternity issues. Morrison couldn't be happier with the technicality that allowed him to return to the bloodline of a role he began in his 40s and now returns to in his 60s.
Funny, because I don't think any of the Bad Batch looks like Tamura Morrison. Just be honest.
Oh well,
I don't think
because
any of it looks remotely like him.
Yeah, because they're all like genetic like experiments and shit.
But that's what I'm trying to say. I don't.
Yeah.
But even the clones in the Clone War, I never thought they looked like Tamura Morrison. They look like a character. You know, they're all the same. But I don't think
they're all him de-aged usually. But it was nice to actually.
It was nice to actually come back and work hard and do some stuff in terms of the drama, in terms of the acting, in terms of the action,
Morrison said.
Especially in these mature years I have attained.
I fought in my suit a lot. I do.
Morrison
like
has
Taika, right? Like Korg, whatever it is. Sometimes I let her rip, right? I just sit in here, I smell
let her rip.
I get over it. Smells like old people. Smells like it's fun. Pretty good, mate.
Morrison has given a test drive as Boba in 2020 during the 6th episode of season 2 of The Mandalorian. It was an action-packed affair with the Wild West vibe, full of laser blasts and exploding ships, directed by Robert Rodriguez. Morrison said he and Rodriguez bonded on set by playing guitars together between scenes, shooting that episode.
I want that footage. I want that footage, and I want Johnny to tell me how they're doing it all fucking wrong. Like, I just love skilled people critiquing other skilled people at such a level no one can tell what they're complaining about. Like when Star Wars Santa complains about John Lennon, I'm like, how can you? I wish I could do one fucking thing that guys do. You know, there was not that good. His technique is the C bar sharp, blah 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 blah. Like, I mean, I get he has a weird ass. Like, I get that.
He has a flat ass. He and Yoko both have flat asses.
Yeah. But
if the guy ass to ass, it was like putting a table on top of a table.
Okay.
That episode was when he realized he could take Boba Fett further than just a cameo appearance if he ever wanted to do so.
Everything clicked with Robert Rodriguez,
Morrison said of the director, who also helmed the first episode of the Book of Boba Fett.
I think I had to show some stuff off once I appeared in The Mandalorian. I think I gave them confidence to say, hey, I think this guy can handle it. To be fair, this family of Disney and Lucasfilm and having to hold the reins as a number one was a great honor.
Okay.
Well, some people think it's a number 2.
The New Zealand-born actor also takes great pride in the rarity of being a major Star Wars performer who comes from an Indigenous background. It's a status he doesn't take lightly. Morrison has met many Indigenous actors over the years who have told him his career was of great influence to them. While he was filming Aquaman, he was moved to learn that one of his breakout movies, 1994's Once We Were Warriors, really good, by the way, he's really great in it, about a family that descends from a Maori legacy, had a strong impact on the film star Jason Momoa.
He's a young, brown Hawaiian growing up in Iowa, and he found that movie really moved him spiritually in terms of his identity. I guess at the end of the day, many people are trying to find their roots, who they are, said Morrison. We're proud of those indigenous roots. We can take the life force and we can have from our indigenous culture, we can blend it, transform, and use some of the energy to give us confidence. And also make us perform at a level that is good so we do get noticed. It's our power. It's who we are.
Tells of power more. Okay, I'm getting them all screwed up now.
Yeah.
Morrison here, right? I love this. This is the right blend of
he's an actor
70s
shaman.
energy we need here.
Yeah, he's an actor shaman.
I love this.
Yeah, it's the shamanistic Tamura Morrison. For the moment, Morrison is mum on just how much of his face we'll be seeing on the Disney Plus outside of Book of Boba Fett.
Lot.
There are multiple. This is where the article gets. This is where it gets interesting, and I think like the discussion actually lies. There are multiple Star Wars streaming series in production, from Obi-Wan and Ahsoka, blah 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 blah, Clone Wars. Okay,
well, the art people, I'm thinking of Captain Rex for one. He looks a little like me. Does Commander Cody? What happened to those guys?
You skipped that whole thing though. You went blah 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 blah.
Well,
blah.
what? That present opportunities for him, not only as Boba Fett, but there are other clone troopers that share his face. They gain popularity in Clone Wars, while voiced by actor D. Bradley Baker,
right.
who's actually Kenny
Bakers
Baker.
in Star Wars.
D. Bradley Baker's
Right.
actually just Kenny Baker and another Kenny Baker standing on each other's shoulders.
Yeah, D. Bradley goes, turns out my dad spread his energy all over Iowa too, you know, and made a bunch of me's. Yeah, it's not fair.
So I know what it's like because I'm a Kenny Baker. I'm a
Kenny Baker clone. I'm a little bad batch. I'm funny.
I'm a big bad batch. I'm a big bad batch.
I'm a big bad batch. My dad.
Okay. So there are people I'm thinking
daddy issues in Star Wars. It's a problem. Sorry.
So do you think it? So when he says, "Well, there are people," I'm thinking of Captain Rex for one. He looks a little like me. There's Commander Cody. What happened to those guys? There's all those clone armies. Morrison said that could be something fresh, new, and exciting. So he's like, do you think he's saying Captain Rex just because he's been hit up about Captain Rex so much, or do you think that's maybe in a weird way a telegraph?
I could grow a Santa beard. I can grow a Santa beard. I can do it. I think
I can grow a Santa beard.
I have white balls hair, and I can put balls hair on my face, so we can do it. I look like Star Wars Santa for reals this time. Star Wars Santa's real. It'll be canon now, and that'll be the thing. I can do it. What is this supposed to say? I can look like Clone Trooper 3401. Like, yeah, there's only like so many main trooper characters, right? Rex, Cody.
I just
That's
have
the only ones I know.
I mean, they do have his likeness, so there is a bit of that, right? But at the same time, like where I'm going with this is the idea that he knows who fucking Captain Rex is. He just doesn't strike me as somebody who knows that much about like the like nerdy lore stuff. Like he like learns it when it pertains to him. And maybe it is just simply that he picked up on that one, but I find, and he already played Commander Cody. He played Commander Cody in Revenge of the Sith. So like this is
why the idea of Boba becoming a crime lord in this series is so weird. Had it been like a mission to find there turns out there's little bits of my family still alive. I'm gonna go find them, and he gets on crazy, fucking adventures trying to, find his fucking family and shit. Would have been, an episodic TV thing that could then lead into a bigger Ahsoka series or something. It's just this bounty hunter thing. I would say this crime lord thing. I'm just not understanding the motivation here.
Well, what is kind of cool is he could find one of those guys and he could send them out into like it could be like a Saddam Hussein style body double. So he doesn't have to worry about getting killed.
Remember those when it clearly wasn't Saddam Hussein?
It was great.
Like, look, it totally is. Like, I miss those days.
It'll be like Captain Rex with like white beard. I'm a crime lord now.
See, it was like even in the 90s when we were being more PC, you could still be totally racially insensitive so long it was Saddam Hussein, Gaddafi, the Ayatollah. Like in a Naked Gun, you can get totally racist so long it was Middle Eastern.
If it's about nationalism, you can do whatever you want. Even if
it's not the Middle East, it's West Asia. Okay, West Asian dictators, whatever fucking floats your boat geographically speaking. Like,
yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Remember, like there used to be like lots of like Saddam Hussein like playing cards and targets, like paper targets and shit that were just like around everywhere.
That's where all the adult action figures go now. That spot on the shelf is now where all my Friday the 13th, and NECA figures go. They go. Right
I think they just all give money to Fed and Menace streamers. They don't buy that shit now. they're just super chatting it away.
I got a few Funko Pops from that section, I think.
But yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think it might say something. I think that might be a telegraph about him playing Captain Rex in the Ahsoka series and where he's at now. Because remember, I mean, they filmed this series like a year ago. That's why when you see him now, you can tell he's totally sick of like he's enjoying doing the Book of Boba Fett stuff, but he's all talked out. So like he does like interviews. He's just like, oh, it's crazy, man. It's like, so exciting. He's like, what? He's like trails off like me a lot, I totally get it. But yeah, I'm a little bit. I'm hopeful. I'm hoping it happens. You know, it would be fun to see him do Captain.
What's part of that 4chan leak?
The 4chan leak is totally fake. Gotta say, by the way.
Right, but it was part of the 4chan leak.
Yeah,
you have to at least say it was there.
Yeah,
Whatever.
no. I if anybody's still here, usually about hour in, start losing people. I do not believe after the things that I know about Boba I learned recently. I don't believe that the 4chan leak is going to hold much water after the next episode.
Tatooine water or Camino water?
I don't know. I'm not saying. I'm not saying. No, but I'm just saying. I think that the 4chan thing was simply two things. Either number one was using things that were already out there, putting it all together into a nice package of logic that doesn't actually pan out, or it was the leaker doesn't know as much as they think they know, and they were simply making things connect that actually don't. So we will see though. So so
for the record,
that said,
I always thought as a kid back to water tastes like unflavored Gatorade. Like,
really?
It's just filled with electrolytes. Yeah, it just has that really weird bile-y kind of taste, you know, like when you have.
I always thought it tasted like Mark Hamill's balls, based off of the fact that Mark Hamill's balls
that's
are
what
in
it tastes like. His balls taste like unflavored Gatorade,
like Gatorade. So Mark Hamill's balls are officially
it's just
an unflavored thirst quencher. If you're wondering, I don't know. I don't even know if we care about this story. George Lucas, the Catholic Kennedy, received milestone honor at 2022 Producers Guild Awards. The duo will be recognized for
a lot
contributions.
Of this bullshit we're all complaining about, so that's true.
He's like
McCollum's like, hey,
what about me? I produced. He's like this. He's all finally. My Howard the Duck accolades are all lined up. I could feel it coming.
The only thing George produced was Red Tails and Magic CG films.
She's all, you motherfuckers, the Force is female. You'll all be sucking soy from my teats.
That's the same look you get when she's like, sure, you're the director of Rogue Squadron. Sure.
Yeah.
Hi, I don't know if this job's secure. We signed a contract, didn't we? Yeah, I don't know if it's secure. Sure.
He's like, the actual story is about my gullet. It's called the Dexter Jetster Adventure. No, maybe not.
It's always Final Fridays at the Lucas hold.
I'm celebrating it. So they're gonna get an award from a thing that I don't care about.
I love awards. Oh, this is my favorite part of the job.
George Lucas has built through his movies and through Lucasfilm has enriched every facet of filmmaking, and his colossal creativity and technical genius amazed the world. It dazzled them, in fact. Kathleen has ascended to the highest levels of our industry, facing ever-changing challenges each time she succeeded in producing one of the brilliant and boundary-breaking films she is known for.
I would have sold to both.
So,
I didn't know. If I sold to Fox, I would have sold to Disney, one way or the other.
This is a real self-suck adventure, I'll say that much.
Well, Joe Rogan wrote it. You know, he can do that now. I watched the show.
Bootsy says, yeah, McCollum and the cocaine is why I tune in.
I love Bootsy, man.
I love Bootsy too. Yeah.
Bootsy's like, Bootsy's still here. I'm like, I love when people speak about themselves in the third person. Like, it's my favorite.
It's like, where's Bootsy? Bootsy never left. Bootsy's always been here.
It either is a sign of mental instability or pure genius. And that line is razor thin.
Being Bootsy? Or what?
No, the mad, being a pure genius or an insane narcissist. Like, it's just razor thin.
Yeah, I mean, it gives you movies like Return of the Jedi, and it gives you movies like Howard the Duck. That's what I always say. What can you do?
Yeah, well, say it when you sign an NDA. I dare you. See what happens.
I do have to say,
a fun little experiment.
just like sometimes like I'm sitting there and I'm like, I need to pick up a guitar, man. I need to like beat something up, and when I watch that moment where the mayor drives into the Mellorunes or whatever they're called, I'm like, if you looked at that and you said Mellorunes and you got excited, just punch yourself in the dick 5 or 6 times.
The mayor's servant. The mayor didn't drive
The mayor's servant. Yeah.
Wish it was an Ithorian. It would have been great. Watching the Ithorian drive through the streets.
That fucking puppet, he can't go anywhere. He can't do shit. He won't be doing anything.
Come on, he could just rig a puppet head to do this.
Yeah, it'd be like about the speaker bounces around.
Funny. That's why it'd be funny. like if does the speeders, when they hit gravel, do they still do this? Like they're not stable.
Put yourself in the dick 5 times. That's the rules. If you got excited, he admits it. He has to do it now. Oh. Five punches.
Not my neighbors. Oh no.
2 to each ball. 1 to the dick. 5.
Yeah.
5.
All right. Okay. Well, we can do that.
Well, wait. How long okay, you know what? I think we're gonna do our what do you call it?
Predictions?
Our prediction, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna do our prediction.
Our predictions.
Yeah. So I have to say on the prediction for like the last one, I want to say that the Naboo Starfighter is coming in the next 2 episodes. It has to be in the next 2 episodes.
You can't predict it though. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, what one? Would it be this one? Would it be the next one?
I think it. Well, here's the thing: is in terms of it as a strategy. If we say it's in this one and it's not, then if we say it's in the next one, I think we're going to be right. So I think we have a chance of getting a prediction right. Whereas in the other way, we just have no chance. So I'm going to say we predict we're going to see it.
Did you send me the link to the?
I did. I
the link.
Yeah, I did. I sent it to the Twitter, to the Twitter post. That's how I got it for the show. Okay. I'm gonna pull it up right now, though.
Sorry,
if it helps.
Always helps. Oh, Star Wars Predict. There it is. It's up there. Okay, I can load it up.
So this is
fill mine out too.
Okay, so are you going solo? You going solo on this?
Yeah, I've been filling one out.
Oh, have you?
You want to do it together? Yeah, because I think that's why he was like, Sarah Santa was like, you each got it a little different here and there. So.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just going down the same road with you here.
Okay. Then in that case, then I'm going to disagree with you all the time. Okay, so because last week I was making Star Wars an a-hole. This week I'm going to be making Star Wars no a-hole.
That's yeah.
Okay. All right. So Boba Fett kills someone.
So he's Kim Jong-un? All right.
Yeah, that's fair. So do you think
that's a quick one? What?
Do you think Boba Fett's going to kill someone?
Do I think Boba Fett's going to kill someone?
So
damn, man. The fact that I can't answer this is so weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Star Wars Meg says that we're going to get the dinner table scene, this one. So we're going to have a bunch of criminals who are going to be doubting Boba Fett's veracity. And in that, will he have to murder one to show him that he, in essence, has 10 Mando dicks in his pants and will fuck you with all of them if you don't do what he says? Like, are we to that point?
If he feeds them to the Rancor, did the Rancor kill him or did Boba Fett kill him? Because Luke got fed to the Rancor and he didn't die. So
you know what?
Say Jabba saved Luke.
Dude, you just got a Rancor. Okay, I'm gonna say that if Boba feeds somebody to the Rancor, it counts as Boba killing him. And you just got a brand new fucking Rancor. Somebody's gonna fucking mouth off to you, and you're gonna tell me you're not gonna feed your hungry little baby. That thing's his baby. I say
yes.
Yeah.
I'll say yes.
I'm gonna say yeah. He's gonna kill. Okay. Fennec Shand has not killed anybody in several episodes.
The minute you get a Venus flytrap, you're trying to feed it flies, right? Like
right.
Every second.
The minute you get some Spanish fly, you're trying to Remember?
No, Bill Cosby.
It was very Bill Cosby. Remember that weird stand-up special where he
yes
about, like,
yes
he was just like lacing people's drinks with Spanish Fly, trying to get him horny.
I saw it when I was a kid and told my dad, "This guy's weird. This is weird."
I mean,
Fennec kills.
I right now we're talking about Cosby, Darth Maximus, to say me and my son have to punch each other in the balls now.
Only gonna get that here, folks, on this show. Legitimately, it's legitimate. It wasn't planned. You're only gonna get those legitimate reactions here.
Dave says the last scene. Actually, before I forget, because I don't mean to forget, make sure you guys subscribe to the show as a channel member or as a Patreon supporter. Also, start liking the videos. Nobody likes the videos. We gotta start liking the videos. And leave comments if you're watching it on the replay. Yeah. I appreciate it.
You gotta at least like the videos, folks.
That would be great.
Even if you're lying, you gotta do it.
Yeah, in fact, if you like the video, you don't have to punch yourself in the balls, the dick, or anywhere else for liking the Melaroons moment. I will give you a pass this one time.
And if you dislike the video, you gotta punch yourself in the balls, but just hashtag us and make it a little short, right? So we can see it.
And
I didn't like it.
Star Wars Santa on has tweeted out the link to this. You could also get the link from Star Wars Santa's YouTube videos, which I suggest you watch too. If you need more Star Wars content, is great. And
Star Wars Satan has a different predictions list altogether.
Star Wars Satan's like, question 1, Boba Fett finds eternal damnation. Question 2, they visit purgatory only to find hell. You know, it's like pretty much it just goes on like that for 10 questions.
Kenny Baker lore is in there too.
So, okay, is Fennec gonna kill someone?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna go with yes this week because she hasn't killed anybody in a long time, and she threw the dart at Black Chrysanthemum's hand, and that was it. So I feel like she has to kill somebody.
This is dumb. It'd be funny if she got a big mallet. She's like, bam! I got you with the mallet. Been wanting to use this forever. Never a good reason for it.
Or she's like takes off her helmet. She has a big mullet. She's like, I grew it in between episodes.
The Matt Berry droid just shuffles in and kicks his hand.
Like, I see you got a mullet now. And she's like, yeah, I saw that guy in the mayor's office and I just wanted one too. So, okay. We see the Slave One fire spray gunship.
I say that's in the back, the flashback does.
Yeah, at this point, yes. I think he has. I mean, it's come up so much, even when it's not important, and I feel like it has to be important soon, right? I mean,
someone finally mentioned the walking as being a problem from going. Who was it? Oh, because when it was someone I think even was it Kevin Smith? One of them was like, they're just walking everywhere now, man. This is ridiculous. You know, like I think Robert Meyer Burnett, someone who normally wouldn't pick on stupid shit like that, is like, this is pretty ridiculous that they're holding. They don't have like a little mini barge like the Kenner barge to float out the fucking huts. You know, like they got to have guys. There's no way they're carrying huts for fucking 7 miles. Like this is not happening. So,
you know, I mean,
parading them through the streets, I get, of a city, but come on, this is ridiculous.
Well, what you guys all have to accept is that the area above Jabba's palace is a no-fly zone, and it's respected. It always has been, and it always will be. I don't know why. It just seems to go.
I'm more inclined to think it would have been the Rancor guy shows up and he opens up the hollow thing, and a hollow thing of them being held in hollow form would have been one thing. You know,
I wanted to see that thing go. You know, that thing that comes out, that ball talking thing. Where's that guy? He needs his job back. Yeah. You know,
I want to see him and the Matt Berry droid just like needlessly bitching at one another. Like that ball can come out in different areas. In the like it can turn off, and then in another part of the castle it appears, and he comes out, and he's
or what if we come into a shot and like 8D8 is like dancing like this with it, and they're just dancing like no one's watching. No,
yeah, like they just all
right. We see Slave. All right, so what did you say to Slave One? You say
I said yes.
You say yes. Okay. So someone says Jabba in this episode. I think I'm just going to
say yes.
We know that because Jabba would have fed you to his menagerie. Hasn't happened, right? That hasn't been said yet. And
I thought she said that already.
Did she already say that?
The dude who came.
You're right.
Yeah, we've already seen that. We've seen that.
I just don't see it not coming up at that dinner table, though. You know what I mean? At that dinner table, it has to come up.
Has to come up at the dinner table.
All right.
Wow. What if it doesn't? We're like, what?
It has.
Okay, I'm gonna say yes.
I mean, I'm gonna go with yeah. All right, number 5. Dinner lunch with Tatooine's criminal underworld.
Those are tied together.
Yeah. Boba gets revenge on the Nikto gang.
It's why he needs his ship back. It's why he goes and gets his ship. The only way he can go fly around and blow those motherfuckers. He sets them on fire with spray. Now he's fire.
I like that idea. I'm gonna go with that because that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Boba gets beat in a fight. This one is kind of suggestive.
Every episode.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying is like does he get beat in a fight? You know,
beat down in a fight means he loses because he technically lost the fight with Chrysanthemum, right?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, but these hot new waivers showed up and saved him. I don't know. You know, it was yeah.
Breakout.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say no.
You're gonna say no.
I'm saying no.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no too. Okay, Boba rides a Rancor. You think we're in riding Rancor territory now?
Oh wait, learning to ride.
Oh, he does have to learn to ride it. He's not going to just be riding it all of a sudden. Do you think they would do that? Like, I want to learn to ride it, and then all of a sudden he's just riding it? Or do you think he's going to say, I want to learn how to ride it, and then because
can't predict this show, Jason.
Well, he gets it. Well, he gets it in present time, right? He gets the Rancor in the present tense.
Yes.
Therefore, he will have to learn. They can't just go, it's been some time. He knows now. So I'm going to say he does.
Is he? But like, if he feeds those dudes or one of the dudes to the Rancor, then he's riding it later on. Does like he have to pull out a stuck bone from its mouth? Oh shit!
Yeah,
there's a foot in there. So I'm going to say no.
Bosk appears.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go. Well, like, okay, we did whittle down who was at the head of the table. So if you're gonna have all of these families showing up for that scene, then you know Bosk isn't there. You think he would be, right?
You would think so.
But on the other hand, if this is this episode going to have allies coming to his aid? And I think that's what we are set up for. Our allies coming.
He has a biker gang now, like
yeah, but he's taking on a militia of criminals now. You know what I mean? The Pike army is kind of like sending reinforcements. We're getting into a full on gang war here. He has some new waivers, and he's trying to get the people of Mos Espa on his side.
I feel like if Bosk appears, it's like a tag at the end of the episode kind of thing. Not, but after the credits, it just mean like,
yeah,
you know, who's gonna help me save it? It's gonna be Bosk, and then people are gonna be like, you know, my wife's gonna be like, who the fuck is the Blizzard dude again? I have to explain. Remember an Empire? No. Okay. Well,
I'm gonna go with no, just because there's not anything to really. No. I'm gonna go with no just because I don't have any evidence. Like I don't have any reason to say yeah. No. You know, I want him to though, but
all right. I thought it would have happened by now. To be perfectly honest with you, but
all right, we see a flashback scene. I think that's a safe.
Yeah, that's part of the show. That's never going away.
All right, I've said no to everyone. I'm just gonna say yes to Din and no to Luke.
I'll take the opposite.
You're gonna say no to Din and yes to Luke?
Yeah, why not?
All right.
Weirdest should I don't think not. No, I'm saying no to both. I can't. Luke Skywalker's not gonna appear in the show.
I'm gonna say no to Grogu.
By the way, I mentioned Din to my wife because I was like, I think Din Djarin was a bully in high school. She's like, who the fuck are you talking about? Oh, my Pedro. She didn't know Mando. Oh, really? I was like, well, I mean, look, Cobra Kai happens, you know.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, it doesn't mean he's a shithead now.
It's probably why he played a really good, like the way he played that character on Game of Thrones.
I've heard from crew members he's very, very much Newport. He's very Newport. If you don't know what I mean by that, just watch Arrested Development and you'll know what I mean. Cobb Vanth cameo.
Grogu no Cobb Vanth.
Let me ask you this:
know what?
Would Cobb Vanth come to his aid, considering all after everything was washed out? Do you think Cobb Vanth might line up with him for the protection of Mos Pelgo?
This is where I'm like, instead of the Vespas, they should have got him with Cobb Vanth, and you know what I mean, like putting together. Like, here's a dude who could help you.
Yeah,
like build a little A team. Maybe he's the one. So I still think Cobb Vanth's going to be a Sector Ranger. I think that's their deal with that. Like
he's still at Mos Pelgo though at this time, and that would, I mean, we could get reintroduced to Cobb Vanth, and it's like, I'm a Ranger now. You know what I mean? Like Ranger Van.
I'm gonna say no.
Gonna say no?
No.
Man, I want to say yes, but I feel like I should say no. I'm gonna say no. I'm just gonna say no. All right, Dr. Afra cameo?
No, Dr. Afra's not appearing in the series at all.
Kira? I'm gonna say no.
And Mega's always like, she's in the series, and I'm like, I don't believe it, but I don't. I get you. I believe you believe it, but I don't know if I believe it.
I think she could come. I just don't think it's. I don't know. I feel like it's a back end of the season kind of deal. I don't think it's like a mid-season reveal. I think it's a back end reveal personally. If it goes that way.
I feel like it's the way in Solo at the very end threw in a Darth Maul appearance. I feel it's like that.
Yeah, because I mean, if she did film, I don't think she filmed that much, and I don't believe the. I am out on the 4chan leak for now. I'm totally out on it for now. So I'm gonna go with no. Cad Bane, rumored on his own without it. So, but the Cad Bane thing, I feel like it could happen at any time. But I'm just gonna say no. Han Solo, I'm just gonna say no. I just don't feel like we're there. All right, Crimson Dawn is mentioned.
Now, is this one of those ones where if I say no, and then you find out that they have been alluding, but we didn't know that when they say mention, they have to say Crimson Dawn, right? It can't be one of these technical. There's another syndicate who's actually interested, and then it turned out that syndicate was,
Yeah,
well, they have to say Crimson Dawn.
I'm gonna say they can't say like Crimson Day, Crimson Night. That's not Crimson Dawn. I mean, it's not my form. I don't really get to make the rules. But if I was making the rules, Crimson Dawn is Crimson Dawn, right? So Crimson, anything else?
Say no. I'm also gonna say I think Star Wars Santa, you need to up some of these back these predictions at the end. You need to fluctuate a little bit of these.
Well, see, all of this is based off of existing stuff, and it's all about to become expired. So it's all about to
where's the Dengar? Like, I'd have a hard. Man, what about Dengar? Like,
yeah.
Will one of the Vespa kids die? There's just a little few things here that you could, make like will one of the Vespa kids die? I'm gonna put in Vespa kid dies in my prediction.
Okay.
One of them, any of them, I don't care.
Yeah.
Which one though? Because like there's fucking 8 of them that didn't appear in the bike scene. But there's the Marsha Warfield one that I'm like, where's her, man? Like she just disappears. Yeah. Like where's the
I like to think she just said this shit's stupid. It went and got a drink at the cantina.
Would have been great if the other ones were the ones that were on the hoverboards with like holding onto the back of the Vespas, like in Back to the Future.
Okay, okay. Hear me out.
Wingman,
Hear me out here.
Okay.
I'm not. I as a prediction, I'm gonna go with the N1 Nimbus Starfighter for the next 2 weeks, or the next 3 weeks even. I'm gonna do it till I get it right. Personally, I'm sticking to it. But fucking Watto, dude, where's fucking Watto? We're in Mos Espa. Is Watto dead? I don't think so. What's he up to? We got to see Watto at some point, just fucking chilling. Like Watto just fucking with some flies around his dick.
Would have been great if the mayor was Watto.
Right? Mayor Watto would have been fantastic.
I know it seems like member berries, but it's the right kind of member berries.
Oh yeah. No, he's been a business owner in Mos.
He can fly too, so Like he flies poorly, but he can fly, right? So like,
I mean, he's got to be on the city council by this point. He's got to be.
Wish Watto was the mayor.
Although
I love the mayor voice, the Robert Rodriguez voice, I think is great, and the puppetry combination, whatever combo they're doing for the physicality of that creature, whether it's CG or puppetry, it's fantastic.
Wait, Rick
Watto has died.
Rick Jones is playing with my heart right now. No, he's playing with my heart. Did Watto die in canon? We're not talking about that one fucking like what if book by the ILM cats, right? Where they killed. You're talking like
I don't
like
care if
Watto's
it's in a cartoon.
Like Watto's truly dead. Well, because and then the king of the Wattos died in the cartoon, but real Watto, my Watto, he's alive, right? Because I want to see.
What are you doing?
I want to see Watto. You fucking really got me going there for a second. No, that was him. I thought it was. Anyways, I want to see Watto and Sebulba. Like, wouldn't it be cool if like Watto and Sebulba went into business to each other? Oh well. I mean, I don't know how old do flying dick nose creatures like live? He might live to be 250.
He's a fucking alien. I like how people are just like trying to do like. He's old. He's a fucking space wizards, man. Like,
maybe he can't fly anymore, and he has like a cane. You know, he's like, "Oh, I'm so old." Hey,
look, all I'm saying is watching him become a crusty politician would be perfect. Hey, look, a former slave owner is now a politician. Makes a lot of fucking sense for Rob. You know?
Yeah, like Boba's like, don't vote for him. He's a slave owner. And he's like, hey, you have a ship named a Slave of One. He's like, oh, no, it's called the Fire Spray.
Yeah. Who's the?
Oh, it's the Fire Spray. I swear, it's always been a Fire Spray. Yeah. All right. Let's submit our votes.
I'm making the cybernetic kids now. Everyone comes for Watto cybernetic. You upgrade your life. You upgrade your city with the Watto. You know.
Yeah. I'm a Thornarian.
Yeah.
I only like
Toy
money.
yourself. I like my kids to be toyetic. You know what I'm saying? It's so stupid. Sure, why not? Yeah. I told you, my thing for bringing Sebulba back is a pod racer series.
Yeah.
You know, he becomes the Mickey, you know, of the wanting to train, you know, gotta like train, like it's a Rocky Balboa style story where this kid wants to be a pod racer, but I don't want pod racers anymore, but he's the one who could train him, you know?
So Shogun is actually suggesting that maybe Watto has Benjamin Button's disease. That we're gonna learn that Watto's a Benjamin Button.
It's a way to baby another character up. It's a cute Watto baby.
Baby Watto!
Baby Herman. He's a baby Herman.
Baby Yoda, you're gonna love Baby Watto. Yeah. Like,
he ages younger, but his voice gets older. So it's the baby Herman of the.
He still has the little bit of the scruff.
What I puts. He calls all the Tatooine people toots because they're from Tatooine. They're toots.
Yeah, I mean, I you know, a part of me is kind of excited about the idea that like if Boba keeps getting these like hangers on that he's hiring that become like a part of like his like establishment though, like
Klingons.
No, well, like the Vespa gang being a bunch of extras inside of like Jabba's palace in totality with a bunch of other stuff would look cool. It would be fine. And it's like getting there without it being starting there is truly weird. And as they
look, this was one of those visual things I wish had been there in every episode from the first episode, where it's empty maybe in the first episode, then the second episode he's got the Gamoran guards in there, and then the third episode he's got that background, that little with all those tables are filling up, and maybe he's got a couple extra people we haven't seen yet. You know, Stephen Root's in there, Cobb Vanth shows up from time to time, and over every episode that little throne room is filling up with his menagerie of fucking dudes. You know, what I have a feeling is it'll all happen at once in one shot. You know, like it's not like and I would like a progression, like a little progression of this building in every episode.
Well, hear me out here. So you're Boba Fett, you're fucking supposed to be 40s, but you're really like 50s. You're hanging out with Ming Na Wen, and you guys are not fucking. They clearly are not fucking getting down. They're boring as shit. They're eating chicken.
Yeah.
They fucking, I mean, honestly, that's fucking pretty boring.
Is.
Yeah. And he's like, I just can't eat. I'm worried about bills. And it's like, come on, man. You're fucking Boba Fett, dude.
The food's there. It's already, we spent the money. Eat the fucking food.
He's a fucking Karen. He's sending the food back. The droid's like, fuck, man. Come on. Now you tell me? And but
we don't even have a rancor to eat this shit anymore.
but you have a bunch of 20-something fine-ass punkers come and show up who just want to hang out and drink water.
Before I forget, the Bomars are coming in. I wish I could eat.
Yeah.
I remember food. I would love to have eaten the chicken leg. Oh, God. I'm bringing in a jar. Ah! Yeah. I'm ready to jar. All right.
No, because the Bomars remember him when he was thin. But anyways, remember?
So do all my ex-girlfriends.
Rice might be showing up, and fuck, Anyways, no, but those kids are probably gonna throw a raging ass party. That's what I'm trying to say. Is there's gonna be drugs, there's gonna be we're gonna see some squid heads, we're gonna see some snaggletooths, we're gonna see some Bomar monks.
The foot layer. It looks like the Foot Clan layer, right? They got menthols and regulars, and
I mean, and if
what if Watto's is the fast food of Mos Espa? It's Watto's, right? It's got the W instead of the M.
I think it's a SpaghettiO tie-in missed opportunity, personally. But I mean,
everyone comes to McWatto's.
Feel free to like disagree with me, but I feel like Black Chrysanthemum was going to sodomize him. He did really seem like he was gonna fuck him. Like he didn't come at him with the gun. He didn't come up to kill him. He had a "I'm gonna fuck you" look in his eye when he pulled him out of that thing. But first, I'm gonna beat you into submission. I'm the dom and you're the sub. That's what he was saying to him. That was what I got, right? So if a giant black Wookiee's about to fuck you, and then you get saved by a group of gangs, you're gonna let them throw whatever kind of party they want. So I'm saying next episode's a fucking raging ass party. I think that was the best. That was the best prediction I could have had. That I came up with.
This is how we do it.
Yeah, fucking cameos there. Word up. The guy just shows up. He's like, "Word up." Comes up by the, like, "Hey, Thomas."
Oh, I thought you meant the website. I was like, "What? What are we cross-promoting here?"
No.
First Boston Dynamics, now Cameo.
Actual Cameo shows up. Okay. Here's my today. Like Star. I think Star Wars Meg and Star Wars Santa went off the rails on their show. They were like George Lopez could be in the show. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? I love you guys. You guys are fucking nuts. Yeah, they're fucking nuts, right? But where I think, but it gave me the idea. Cheech Marin. How long until we get Cheech Marin in the show?
That is, he's been in Robert Rodriguez stuff before, so
that's what I'm saying.
Like, yeah, you're away. I mean, I put it at 51%, right? Like, yeah. Well, it's over the probability mark. Right? I'll give it at least a 51% on that. The George Lopez thing, that's a -2. This is not. I don't buy it. Watch, he's in the next episode. Now you have to eat crow. You don't know what you're talking about. This shit sucks. You don't know nothing. You're like, yeah, I don't know anything. Like, you don't fucking know anything. What, you there on set? Did you fucking edit the episode? Do you know? Like we got as educated or uneducated guesses here, man.
Rick Jones, I'm gonna say Cheech and Chudongula. I think now is the time. And then
if they made Chong a green Wookiee, he's the weed Wookiee, right? They're the ones selling Tatooine peyote.
Patchy, he's like a patchy Wookiee, He's got like all kinds of like hair missing and shit. He's like, hey, that would be so great. I really want a patchy Wookiee.
He's wearing the poncho, the Luke poncho. They're really laid back, with like little weed motifs built into it and shit.
He takes it off. And he has the fucking tits shaved off right here. You can just see his tits.
Hold on, this is good stuff. Let me write it down. I'll give me a second, Jason. It's good stuff. You guys are doing.
Those are all my original ideas.
You need to be more positive. You need to give ideas. I like
with Rodriguez being in the music and a musical guy. I do kind of feel like if we do see the court get put together, we're going to have a new band. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Max Rebo does get reused. It's pretty expensive, and something like that. But do you think we'll see a whole new band being put together? And when I say a whole new band, I just mean a band. Do you think we'll get a band?
How about this? You know what wasn't on Star Wars predictions? Will we see Jennifer Beals character again, or does that just disappear till the end of the series?
Yeah, man, I could be wrong, but it's like, Boba Fett's a very, as we in the original trilogy, I mean, we saw him do like 3 things, and one of them was trying to fuck a backup dancer. So like, when's Boba gonna start trying to get his Tatooine queen? That's what I'm asking. And I feel like Jennifer Beals' character could be set up as potentially being that, because they're going to want to keep Ming-Na Wen, Fennec Shand as his contemporary, sidekick. They're not going to, Batman doesn't fuck Robin usually. So I don't think that they're going to take it there. So I kind of think that they're going to go in that direction.
Never throw an adjective in just for the sake of it. You know what I mean? Like, Usually.
Usually. I mean,
he raids, but every now and then he raids Alfred's wine closet and gets all becomes a prison story.
I'm just saying, it would not, and also wouldn't surprise me if Alfred was molesting Robin. I'm just going to throw that out there. It seems like it was happening. It could be a thing. Just look for it.
Just ruining my childhood.
Chris says Disney would be worried if Bubba will give creepy grandpa vibes. I mean, she's as old as he is. You know what I mean?
It's the same age, man. Like, I get you, but it'd be if him and the kids, I get it, right? Like, if he's trying with the little biker Batman, the Scrag or whatever her name is. Yeah, I get that, but me no, they're their equals.
What I've done is I've bought you aged robot parts, so technically you're 47 now.
These are High Republic parts. Pretty good show, still look good. Space Nouveau, a little bit.
Technically, now you're the creep.
Unfortunately, these parts were made by David Cage, so it's known for that's sullied a little bit. It's ruining the whole thing here, but didn't know that when I bought them, so bummer.
Boba won't take his Tatooine vaccinations, but he will take the boner pills from them.
It's blue milk pills.
Blue milk pills.
That's why Luke is he's addicted to it.
He's all shit. He's all Daisy Ridley showing up. Go.
Oh, no.
I'll drink the green one too.
No, he did not do that. No, it's too far. It's too far. How dare you?
I always believe when she showed up, he said jackpot. I've always said that.
I thought you.
I've always said that.
Thought you'd be Mara Jade.
Yeah, he's all Mara Jade. Who? Anyways, all right. I think we've done it for the week. We'll be back. I might do a little tiny show this weekend or something like that. Since there's something to talk about. I'm trying to get it worked out, trying to plan it out. I don't know, and then but I'm not sure. But we'll definitely be back on Monday at 11 a.m. Are we doing 11 a.m. still next week? We still good for the 11 a.m. schedule? You think, or are we going to talk about that later?
I'll probably have to have my camera off.
Yeah. Is 11 a.m. good for you, or is one better for you? We don't have to talk about it now if you don't want to, but we
same
can.
Time is fine.
Same time, okay.
It doesn't matter. I'm just going to turn it on while I'm working. People don't know I got a gig. I can't announce yet, but it's going to eat up the next 6 months. So you're not going to. You might be able to hear my voice, but you're not going to see all of this. Sorry. What am I going to do?
Maybe every now and then, if we beg him just to blow you a kiss, he will, but probably won't.
I have nothing to add to that.
Yeah. What if we got you a green screen suit that you just put on in front of the green screen, and you were just invisible, but you were actually there every time?
It's gonna be 10 dicks all over me. It's gonna be 10 dicks.
Oh, that would be so.
Just 8 holes and 10 dicks. Never do that.
Yeah, we could skin you in assholes. That'd be great. We'll call you the Starlight Man. I am the Sarlacc man. I am full of many Sarlaccs. I have many Sarlaccs with many generations of Sarlacc. Okay.
I Sarlactate. When I'm really in the mood.
You start Sarlactating all over Boba Fett's helmet. We saw that. We saw that happen.
Yeah.
And then you have defined it. So thank you for your contributions to the Star Wars lore.
It's pretty big on Pornhub. Just letting you know.
Sarlactation.
Get the views. Yeah,
all right.
Sarlactation.
Thanks to everyone for being a channel member, a Patreon supporter, liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and being cool and hanging out with us all day, especially. And so we'll see you guys very soon. If not before Monday, I'll see you Monday. And hopefully there's more to talk about soon. Bye, everybody. Thank you, Rob.
It's not about spaceships.
Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show.
It's not about spaceships.
We're going to have 15 D. Bradley Bakers versus 15 Kenny Bakers. And it's going to be a bake-off. The Star Wars bake-off.
Okay.